All right, so welcome to our Team Synergy call tonight, guys. I am so excited for everybody who is on tonight. This is going to be a really amazing call. You guys know I'm pretty much obsessed with Autumn's new workout, 80-Day Obsession. You've been seeing my results. I already started round 2, and I'm already on to phase 2 of round 2 already, which is insane. Like, it's insane how fast the time goes. And so Autumn is here to talk about the program, to answer everybody's questions, and I'm just going to go ahead and let her take it away. You guys already know her, love her, and she really needs no introduction.
Aw, thank you so much. So first of all, Julie, let me just ask, am I on with all coaches or coaches and challengers?
This is just coaches.
Perfect. Okay. It just helps me sort of decide what avenue to go down when we're talking about it. So yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to talk about 80-Day Obsession. We're going to talk a little bit about A Little Obsessed, and we're going to talk about what you guys can be doing to get your challengers ready now, to keep them engaged throughout the entire program, and sort of all that fun stuff. So obviously, let's talk 80-Day Obsession first. That's the big one, so let's go there. I think most people have a pretty decent understanding of what it is. We've been talking about it a lot on social media. You've been seeing promotions for it and all that stuff. So let's just talk for a second about how it came to be. It's very hot in my house all of a sudden. How it came to be, because I think that that's really important, because a lot of people just know it as the way it's been talked about, like, oh, it's an abs and butt program. And yes, those are physical results that will come from the program, which is fantastic. But when I design a program, it's never just, oh, let's make sure my abs are ripped, or, oh, let's make sure, my butt looks nice. There's a lot of science that goes behind it, a lot of planning that goes behind it, and a lot more thought that goes into it than just, let me have a nice butt and abs. So when Carl came to me 2 years ago now and was like, hey, I want to do this program, abs and butt, like, you in, and what do you want to do with it? I was like, absolutely, but obviously I want it to be a very functional program. And it was really great, because it's great to have somebody who trusts you completely to do what you do. And he did, and so he sort of just let me run with it from the beginning, which was great, because I really did take a different approach to this program than anything you guys have seen before, which was using the resistance loops and using the sliders and weight training. And there's a reason why the loops and the sliders are in there, and it's not just because it's fun new equipment to play with. It is, but that's not the reason behind it. First of all, I took into consideration how old I would be when I was filming the program, and I knew I'd be 36 going on 37 depending on when we filmed it. And I was like, look, my joints just don't want to lift 110-pound weights anymore. It's not that I can't, but after a while, the wear and tear gets pretty bad, and not everybody, and that goes the same for a lot of people when you're working out. So I wanted to make sure that I was giving the program exercises that were incredibly effective, but that didn't require only heavy weights to achieve a certain goal. Enter the loops and the sliders, and everybody sort of looks at those two things as like, oh, what are we going to do with these, and how are these going to challenge me? And they do it in really great, significant ways. The biggest thing with the glutes is that we sit all day long, you guys. We sit on our butts, literally. And so our butt muscles don't fire and react the way that they're supposed to anymore, which not only ends up leaving you aesthetically with not the nicest looking butt, but it's much more physical damage happens, because lower back pain happens, and hip pain happens, and knee pain happens, and abdominal issues happen, and lack of strength, because the glutes are such an important muscle in your body. So it was really important for me to strengthen them and get them firing again. That's why there's so much emphasis put on this program, especially in phase 1. And you'll see, like, there's a booty day in phase 1. You think it's going to be easy. It's only resistance loops that we use. You're dripping in sweat. Your butt is on fire, and you can't sit down the next day. And it doesn't look like we've done anything. But again, because we're so weak in that area, it's very important to get these muscles firing. That's what helps you walk. It's what helps you run. Again, even with your posture muscles, like, the glutes are involved. So that's, when I was creating the program, that's what I was thinking about. And then same thing with the sliders. I was like, there's so much work we can do with the sliders. both for our lower body and for our core. So we don't have to lay down and just do crunches anymore. We can get into plank, which is a much more effective position to work in. And we work everything in plank all day long throughout this program, and we use those sliders for everything and every abdominal move you can imagine. So you get a really strong core, but you'd be shocked at how strong your upper body is going to become from holding yourself up in planks. Do all of these abdominal exercises. And yes, there is a modifier to show you guys, but keep in mind it is an intermediate to advanced program. I'll just say that right now. So that's sort of the background, the short version of why the loops and why the sliders in addition to the weight training. Like I said, I really wanted to get those muscles functioning the way that they're supposed to be functioning. So obviously 80-day obsession, it is 80 different workouts, but it goes in 3 phases. And each phase has 6 workouts, 6 themes to a workout. So there's leg day, there's butt day, there's total body core, there's cardio core, cardio flow, and then triple A, which is arms, abs, and your backside. And each phase has those 6 workouts in it, but they obviously are different in each phase. And the reason it's 80 different workouts, obviously we filmed in real time. So every time we came in to film, leg day in week 1 is not performed the same way it's performed in week 2. So leg day week 1, we're doing a 2x15. We're using medium weights. And then you're starting at the top of the workout and you're going all the way through all of the moves. And then you circle back up to the top and you go through it all again. In week 2, you move on to a 3x10. So now it's a heavier weight training day. And you go through the whole workout 3 times in a row. So even though it's the same exercises, it feels completely different. It challenges you in a completely different way. And then in week 3, you do a 3x10 again. But this time, you do 3 exercises 3 times in a row. So you're burning the muscle group out more before moving on to the next set of exercises. So again, you're still in a 3x10, it's still leg day, it's still the same exercises, but because we're performing it in a different rep range and in a different pattern, it burns you out differently. So it's keeping you from getting bored, it's keeping you from plateauing, it's getting you the best results possible. And then in the 4th week, we always go back to the 2x15. You should be stronger because you're 4 weeks in. So even though it's a 2x15 again, you should be lifting maybe a little bit heavier. And then you do same thing, 2 sets, 15 reps of those 3 exercises, and you move through it. So again, a different kind of burnout on the muscles. And that's something important for you to know. So when your challengers are like, well, why is this different than something else Autumn has put out? That alone, that description I just gave you, that is called periodization, okay? That is what trainers use when somebody steps into the gym with me and says like, hey, I want to work with you for this many months. These are the results I want to achieve. That's how I do it. Being able to change up the rep schemes, being able to change up the amount of weight that somebody's lifting, these are the little changes that we use to make really big progress without having to constantly change up the exercises every single day. And it keeps you from getting bored. So you have a chance to go through 80 days with myself in the cast, to watch us suffer, to watch us grow, to see what kind of mood we're in that day. Are we silly? Are we more serious? Who's tired? Who's hungry? It's all real, and that brings a really unique experience to the workout component of it. So that's sort of the workout side of it. And then there is nutrition. So time nutrition. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it because there's not a whole lot to say without just giving away exactly what it is, because it's really the easiest thing ever. Let me tell you what it's not. It is not intermittent fasting. So I guess because we call it time nutrition, because that's what it is, and not everybody knows what that means, they're sort of searching to figure out like, well, what could that possibly mean? And since intermittent fasting has to do with timing, they're putting those two things together. They couldn't be further from, they couldn't be further apart. That time nutrition has nothing to do with intermittent fasting at all. All time nutrition is me answering the same questions that you guys have been asking me for years. Autumn, what do I eat before a workout? Autumn, what do I eat after a workout? When should I be done with my yellows? When should I be done with my purples? I got to the end of the day and all I had left was a blue and an orange container, so what do I eat? So I'm solving all those problems for you because I'm telling you what containers go together at what meal. Meal 1, you're eating a red, a yellow, and a green. Meal 2, you're eating a blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Meal 3, you're putting these containers together. I'm not telling you what to put in the containers, so you still get to enjoy the freedom there of whatever you want to eat. But I'm telling you what containers to go together. And then I'm telling you how often you're having it. So I'm telling you when you're having meal 1, when you're having meal 2, when you're having meal 3. It's no different than what I've been preaching since I've come on the scene with Beachbody, which is you eat every 2 to 3 hours. That's the timing. I'm telling you how often to eat and what containers go at what meal. That way you are fueled for your workout. You're fueled to recover from your workout. You're fueled to get through your entire day, to keep your metabolism burning so that you can build new muscle, so that you can get really good rest at night. Every single meal, that's all time nutrition is. It really isn't anything much more serious than that. So like I said, shy of telling you what containers go together at what meal, that's what timed nutrition is. You guys, that's the gist of 80-Day Obsession. When you get into it more and when the nutrition program comes out, you'll see that in phase 2, we add in refeed days. Those come once every 2 weeks. It's where you actually get to eat more carbohydrates and what we call dirty yellows. So there's a whole list of dirty yellows, meaning cookies and bagels and things like that you are supposed to eat from that list on that day. It only happens once every 2 weeks. It's to help your muscles replenish their glycogen, their sugar, after working out as hard as we are. It doesn't happen until week 6 for a reason, because you have to actually deplete the stores before we need to replenish them. So 6 weeks of hard working out, eating super clean, we've started to deplete the sugar stores in our muscles. Now we can have a refeed day. And like I said, that refeed day is only coming once every 2 weeks. So again, it's just something new that I'm introducing. There's so much science. There's so much nutritional theory. There's so much fitness theory out there that it's never all going to fall into one program. You know, we've got 21-Day Fix where I introduced you guys to portion control. And you've got 21-Day Fix Extreme where I introduced you to carb cycling, which is, you know, if you followed Countdown to Competition, you know what that is. Or back to the original 21-Day Fix when we did the 3-day quick fix. That's carb depletion. So now this is carb loading. That's sort of what a refeed day is. Don't go looking it up necessarily. It's specific to this program on how we do it. But that's what it is. So there's all these different things that you can use depending on the type of workout you're combining it with to maximize your results. And so that you don't get bored. You don't binge. You know, going 80 days and never being able to have any kind of treat, that's a long time. So these refeed days come into play right when your body and your brain is starting to be like, I have a craving, I want something. It's like, great, enter refeed day, enjoy it, and then let it go for 2 more weeks. And we'll, you know, like I said, we'll get into a lot of this stuff more when the program comes out, because there's a lot of material that will come out with it of me explaining exactly how to go through the program, how to use the nutrition program with it. But that's the gist of it, okay? So then we have A Little Obsessed, which hopefully everybody got to do at least once, if not twice, because we filmed it twice. So here's the thing with A Little Obsessed. A Little Obsessed is definitely designed to help people get ready for 80-Day Obsession. And what I mean by that is it's to introduce them to loops and how to use the resistance loops. It's to introduce them to the sliders and how to use the sliders. It's to introduce 5 of the 6 types of workouts. So leg day, butt day, total body core, cardio core, and AAA. But it is, in my opinion, a much easier version than 80-Day Obsession. The workouts are only 30 minutes. And there's only so much I can cram into 30 minutes, and boy, did I cram it in there. But it's still, in a lot of ways, just much easier than 80-Day Obsession. So be prepared with that on both ends of the spectrum. If you've got somebody who's really fit and they do A Little Obsessed to get ready for 80-Day Obsession, and they're like, this is too easy, 80-Day Obsession is going to be too easy, make sure you're aware to be able to explain to them, no, this is like an introduction. This is so you can get the feel of how the workouts go. Trust me, 80-Day Obsession is definitely intermediate to advanced. you're going to do just fine. And vice versa. If you've got somebody doing a little obsessed and they think that those workouts are actually quite challenging, keep them on a little obsessed for a while, then not ready for 80-day obsession, because 80-day obsession is hour-long workouts, basically. Almost all of them are 45 to 55 minutes long. That's always a big question. Cardio core is the only one that's really like 30 to 35 minutes, depending on how fast we move through that workout. So being aware of how to use a little obsess is very important. So it is an introduction to 80-day obsession, but it is also a standalone program. It's 5 workouts. They cover the full body. You can absolutely do it for multiple weeks in a row, just like 21-day fix, just like people do Sean Week, multiple weeks in a row. So a little obsessed, if somebody wants to, absolutely, they should do it as its own individual program. Take them through it for 3 or 4 weeks. It will have a nutrition component with it when it comes out on December 20th. And the nutrition component that's coming out with a little obsessed is part of the nutrition from 80-day obsession. So in 80-day obsession, we have what we call the workout block. What you eat before your workout, if you're taking any of the Beachbody performance supplements, what you have, when you have your Energize, when you have your Recover, and then what you eat after your workout. So that workout block will come with a little obsessed, so that you can get an idea of how to start putting your meals together. Like, oh, I see that, like, I'm putting these containers together before my workout, and I see that I'm putting these containers together after my workout. So these are all really important things to get people ready for. Obviously, I've got, I'm sure you guys have heard me talking about it, I have my group Prepared to be Obsessed going on. It's a massive group. There's like almost 30,000 people in there now. And we went through 21-day fix, and we went through Chisel, and we went through 21-day fix extreme, and we also did both weeks of a little obsessed. Now that group is going through a mashup calendar. I've posted that calendar everywhere. It's on Instagram, it's on my Facebook, it's on my website. You should use the one from my website because that's the most accurate, because I had a typo on one of them. But feel free to go on my website. If you guys want to start taking your challengers through the mashup calendar for the next 4 weeks until the launch of A Little Obsessed, you should be doing that. So that's the next thing we should talk about, which is, how do you get people excited? First of all, people are excited. If they know about the program, they're excited about it. Everything we're getting is really positive feedback. You guys saw the results from the test group. They did amazing. But then it's, okay, well, how do I get them ready for 80-day obsession? It doesn't come out until January 15th. Again, you guys, this is an intermediate to an advanced program. Yes, there is a modifier. It's still intermediate to advanced. So if you have somebody that slacks off for the holidays and is like, I'm just going to have fun right now, and when 80-day obsession launches, I'm going to jump into that, they are not going to be ready for what hits them. It is going to be hard. It's going to be overwhelming in a lot of ways, because if they take 6 weeks off from fitness or 6 weeks off from nutrition, it's going to feel really bad to try to jump into this hard of a program. So don't let them. Keep them involved right now. Get them doing something. Even if it isn't one of my workout programs, get them doing something. But what I've been telling people is, the best way to prepare to train with me is to train with me. So you have 3 other programs of mine that you can be using, so that they learn how I cue, they learn how I use weights, they can sort of see how I flow, how I give breaks, how I correct form. That is the best way to get somebody ready to do 80-day obsession. So whether they choose, if they're a beginner, 21-day fix, if they're advanced and they want to do Chisel or Fix Extreme, or if they want to go through the mashup calendar. The mashup calendar started today. It takes us all the way up to December 20th, which is the launch of A Little Obsessed. And then on December 20th, first of all, make sure people have their sliders, make sure they have their loops if they're not ready yet, and then get them doing A Little Obsessed. If they want to do something else in addition to it, if they do feel like A Little Obsessed is too easy, let them have at it. They can do, they can tack on a second workout, a Fix Extreme or Chisel or whatever, but get them doing A Little Obsessed, because the resistance loops can be frustrating when you first start using them. They roll up on you, you don't know where they go, they fly off, and that's annoying for somebody who wants to get their workout in. So let them be annoyed with a shorter workout and work the kinks out there, instead of coming into 80-day obsession, which is already going to be harder. Like, you don't want them to come into that and being like, how do I use these things? Why do they keep rolling up on me? Let them get into a little obsessed so they can find that sweet spot, so they can get familiar with the sliders, all of that stuff, and then take them through that. We're going through it. I have my group going through a little obsessed for 4 weeks. So we'll go through it all the way up until the launch of 80-day obsession. Do you see how you can keep people engaged right now from November all the way through March? You basically could just outline your challenge groups right now just based on this. Great, we've got mashup program going on first. Then we've got a little obsessed, and then we've got 80-day obsession. You have just locked them in for the next like almost 6 months. Then you talk to them about the supplements. Then you talk to them about Shakeology and all of that sort of thing. So those are the 2 programs. The one other thing, since I do have all coaches on here, there's some other stuff I want to talk to you guys about that I've talked with some of the other coaches on some of the other calls I've done. And I think it's really important for me to sort of bring my insight to the coaches. Right now, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like as coaches, the vision or the focus has sort of gone like this. And you need it back like this. We got to narrow it back in. And here's what I mean by that. I see groups, but I've said this a bunch this last 2 weeks because I've yet to have anybody answer me. Nobody has responded to this question I'm about to ask. I don't get the free groups. And I don't mean the free challenge groups about fitness. I mean, I don't get the free 5-day crock pot challenge, or let's do the free Whole30 group. You guys, I don't get it. I'm a businesswoman. I was a businesswoman long before Beachbody. I ran my own 6-figure business very well on my own for a very long time. I do not understand how doing a crock pot challenge makes you money. You are diverting attention away from the business that you are trying to sell. We don't sell crock pot challenge. We don't do Whole30 because the woman who created Whole30 speaks out directly against Shakeology. She says, don't do Whole30 if you're drinking Shakeology, because Shakeology goes against Whole30 because it has certain grains in there that I don't allow for you to eat. And yet I see coach after coach after coach going, I'm doing Whole30 group. And I'm like, I don't get how that group allows you to sell them. I mean, you guys are coaches, so yes, we want to help people lead healthy, fulfilling lives, but I have to assume you want to make money while you're doing that. That's why you're a coach, is to also make money. So why aren't you hosting the free group that says, let's do the Fixate Challenge? Nobody. I haven't seen anybody host a Fixate Challenge group yet. Bobby and I have over 200 recipes, container equivalents and all, portion control, clean eating, everything. You've got the containers to sell. We've got the portion fix program. All of the containers are integrated into every new fitness program that comes out with Beachbody. So why aren't you doing that? Where's the meal prep group based on Fixate or something like that? Because that's something you can sell. And I'm not saying that because it's mine. I'm just saying that's something you can sell. You could say, let's do this group and say, get the Fixate cookbook or get Beachbody on demand, because all the recipes that we're going to make are going to be from Beachbody on demand cooking show Fixate. Or if you want to do a detox or do the 3-day refresh, combine it with a workout program. And here's the thing, if you are going to do the free crock pot challenge group, whatever it might be, you need to pair it up with a workout, because otherwise you're doing a bait and switch, and nobody likes that, and it doesn't build trust. You're saying, hey, join me over here for this free crock pot cooking group, whatever, and I'm not saying you're not an expert. You very well could be. You very well could have certifications. You might be a nutritionist. I'm not saying that. But what you're saying when you do that is, I, Betty Sue, am the expert. Come join my group. I'm going to teach you how to do these crock pot challenges, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the 5-day challenge, you say, I'm actually not the expert, but I want to sell you this thing and these experts over here. People are not trusting of that, you guys. I'm just calling it like it is. That to them is like, wait, I joined you because you said you knew ... You were going to teach me ... And you said it was free. And now I joined you and I did it. And now you're trying to sell me this shake, or you're trying to sell me this performance line, or you're trying to sell me these workouts. Even the people that go, come over here and do my free workout where I created all these 15-minute workouts. You've made yourself the expert. And again, I'm not saying that you're not, but unless you're starting your own business where you're the expert and you're starting your own platform, you're doing a bait and switch. You're saying, I'm the expert. Look at me. I created 10 ab moves today, and then I created 5 legs moves tomorrow. And guess what? At the end of the week, I want you to spend money over here to actually train with this expert. Because I'm not really the expert. I just told you I was, so I could get you to join my group for free. It doesn't let them trust you. And then guess what? They go, multi-level marketing, it's a scam, it's a ripoff. And then we have to defend ourselves. And we don't need to set ourselves up for defense because what we have is really great. We have experts who have spent their whole lives and dedicated their whole careers to creating fitness programs and nutrition programs, to testing them over and over. You guys, it's not like we knock a program out in 2 weeks. I spent a year creating 80-Day Obsession. I was working on 80-Day Obsession the week after I finished filming Country Heat. I went to work on it on my own. We didn't film it for a year and a half. I had a year and a half to work the kinks out on that program to make sure, and trust me, I went through countless versions to make sure it was the best possible. So that's what you need to be talking about. Talk about your experts. Talk about Tony Horton and what his qualifications are and why you would follow him, or Sean T and what his expertise are, or myself and what my expertise are. You're the coach. You're there to support them. And you can have knowledge about it too, but have knowledge about our programs. You want to show a move of the day, show a move of the day from your favorite workout that you're doing that day. Maybe you're doing 22-minute hardcore. Hey, I did 22-minute hardcore today. Here's my favorite move from 22-minute hardcore. What good does it do to create your own move that isn't from one of our programs? How does that help you sell one of our programs? How does that help you sell Beachbody on Demand? So I'm beating a dead horse a little bit, but I'm saying it because I've seen it, like I said, I've seen the focus go like this. And then everybody goes, why are people following us? Or why are people wanting to join us or whatever? It's because they're confused. They don't know what they're following. The message is so broad that they don't know who the expert is, and they don't know what your position is, and they don't know how the two work together synergistically, and so they just run. So there's one other thing. I'm going to open up for questions for you guys in just a second, but there's one other thing I want to talk to you guys about because I think that this is also really important for you guys as coaches. So anytime I post about Beachbody on Demand or my workout program or Fixate or whatever, I have my own special link that I post with it, because Beachbody can track that link and they can see how many people come from that link to the website, because it's how we track promotions. Like, did this messaging work or did that messaging work? Did this one work better or did that one work better? Okay. So on any given day when I maybe post a really great before and after photo and I put my link with it, that post can drive upwards of 3,000 people that day to Beachbody on Demand. That's huge. 3,000 people saw that post and were like, I'm interested in that program, and they go to Beachbody on Demand. Now, here's the real kick in the teeth. Do you want to know how many out of those 3,000 sign up for Beachbody on Demand? 2, 3, not 200, not 300, 2 or 3. So we have a very big disconnect right now. And we all know this, you guys. I'm not saying anything that we don't know. Beachbody on Demand is a little bit clunky. They're obviously working on that constantly. They have a new version of it that will be launching in a few weeks, which is great. I know everybody gets really frustrated. Believe it or not, the technology behind this is much more advanced than any of us realize because of our coach network. And that's not a bad thing. It's just in order to keep our coaches and everybody and getting their feeds and the flywheel and all of that, there's a whole lot of stuff that has to happen on the back end to keep it flowing properly, okay? So anyways, here's my point to why I tell you guys this. As a coach, when somebody new comes to you and they're interested in signing up for Beachbody on Demand, Don't be so quick to just give them your link and say, here, go here and sign up for what you want. Because we all know that that experience of going through Beachbody on demand is not the best right now. It's getting better. It's going to keep getting better every single day. But right now, it's dicey at best, okay? And let's say you get somebody who's just a little bit older or not so technology savvy, and they use that link and they go over there. They're probably frustrated within 60 seconds and bounce out. And all I think of when I think of this is my dad trying. My dad's 65 and he sucks at technology so bad. It's so frustrating. Like, I can't even tell you some of the questions he'll ask me about his iPhone. And you're just like, Dad, what? But he would never, you guys, my dad is not a stupid man, but he would never figure out how to sign up for Beachbody on demand, ever. He would in 30 seconds be like, this is ridiculous. I'm not doing it, because it's confusing. So they go over there and they see the good, better, best deal. And then let's say they get through that, and then all of a sudden they're being asked, well, what Shakeology do they want? And that they're like, wait, what's that? And then all of a sudden they're being asked about performance line and what's that? So I bring it up because as a coach, what you should be doing is this right now. You should know exactly what your customer wants before you ever hand them that link. What brought them into you? Did they see a before and after? What program are they interested in? Or maybe they're not interested in a program. Maybe they are just interested in Shakeology or fixing. What is it though? What's bringing them to you? Know what that is. Let's say it is a fitness program and they're like, oh, I want to do 21-day fix. Great. Talk them all through what to expect from that. Then know, do they want Shakeology or not? Oh, they do. They're interested. They like the thought of vegan chocolate. They're going to try that. Great. Okay. You tell them about the performance line. No, I don't want any of that. Okay. Well, do you need any like the resistance loops or a mat? No, I don't need any of that. Okay, great. Then you set up a time to call your challenger and walk them through that process. Hey, Betty Sue, I just sent you my link. So go ahead, click on it. We're going to walk through this together. I just want to make sure you have everything that you need. Okay, so I know it's showing you 3 deals, good, better, best. That best one is the $99 all access one that we talked about. So go ahead, click on that. Okay, great. Put in your name, put in your address, put in your credit card information, click next. Okay, now it's going to ask you about Shakeology. We know you want vegan chocolate. Click that. Go ahead. Okay, now it's going to ask you if you want da-da-da. We already know you don't, so click next. Now it's going to ask you da-da-da. Click next. Until you get them to the end. Until they've completed the sale. And the reason I say that is because have you guys ever gone onto a website and you like start to order something and then it asks you if you want 30 other things and you get like frustrated by it and you're like, I just wanted that one thing and you asked me if I wanted all these things and now I'm confused and I don't even know what I want, and you just leave? It happens. That's part of what our site is. It's part of what we do. So don't let somebody get so frustrated by the site that they don't stick with us. You can always get them on Shakeology later. You can always get them on the performance line later. You can get them to try a 3-day refresh later. But if they go to sign up and they have a bad experience trying to sign up, the chances of getting them back are slim to none. I don't have that option. When I do a post and somebody clicks on my link, I don't know who those 3,000 people are going over there. It's not like I'm sending my link to an individual person that has personally come to me and said, I'm interested in this program. How do I get signed up? You guys get that. You guys get that one-on-one interaction of somebody saying, I want to do this. I want to join your challenge group. So make it a really great experience for them from the beginning. Walk them through that. That is the first step to building trust with them so that they feel like, oh yeah, she's not just leaving me out there high and dry to figure out what all this stuff is. She asked me what I want. She cared about what I want. She walked me through it. She told me when to bypass all the stuff that didn't apply to me so that I didn't just see dollar sign after dollar sign after dollar sign in front of my face. Then they're much more likely to trust you later on when you say, you've been crushing it in 21-day fix. I know you didn't do Shakeology before. Are you interested in checking it out now? I know you're doing really well with it, but you said you're still having trouble with cravings. Like, maybe let's try it. I'll send you a sample pack. That's how you get them going. And you don't always have to go for the big sale right out of the gate. You have to build trust right out of the gate. So those are my big things about 80-day obsession. I'm a little obsessed and dialing your focus back in. So let's open it up for questions, if you have any. How do you want to do it? Do you want them to just type it in the chat?
Yeah, I saw Carol has a question. She said for BOD subscribers, will they have more than a few days or a week to have the nutrition plan to prep for the January 15th launch?
Yes, the nutrition program for 80 Day Obsession will launch on January 8th. So you'll have a full week to read up on it, learn about it, and then prep for it. Mesh is available on my website. Yes, Pauline, the mesh. It's on my website. It's under my blogs if you're looking for that calendar. My website is just autumncalabrese.com. Okay, let's see. Who else? Anybody? You guys, go ahead, type. Is there a vegan meal plan? Yes, Dawn, there is a full vegan meal plan with 80 Day Obsession. So this is the first time that the vegan plan is really launching at the exact same time. Like we ended up creating a vegan plan for 21 Day Fix like a year and a half, 2 years after it. But no, there is a full vegan plan for 80 Day Obsession. Let's see what else we have. Maureen says, so this program is probably not the best starting program for my postpartum journey, right? Okay, so that's actually a great question. And surprisingly, I've been getting asked by my pregnant mommies and my mommies that will have just delivered babies about 80 Day Obsession a lot. 80 Day Obsession is not for pregnant women. Not. Can't emphasize that enough. There's just too many things about it that wouldn't be safe. From how fast our heart rate climbs to how high our heart rate stays to how much we lay on our backs, even in phase 1, 2, and 3. The fact that we do a lot of balance work, and when you're pregnant, your joints are supposed to spread and stability becomes an issue. So it's just not something to do when you're pregnant. And then even right after pregnancy, I don't recommend it. And not just because of the intensity of the workouts, but another thing I talk about a lot in 80 Day Obsession is self-care. And the fact that you need to make sure you're getting enough rest. The fact that you need to meal prep to be ready for this nutrition program. That you're going to need a massage every now and then. And you're going to need a little time for you. And that's a part of 80 Day Obsession. It is built into it. It is in the guide. When you're a new mom, you're not really sleeping. You're on your baby's schedule. You're definitely not worried about whether or not you meal prepped your food. You're lucky if you put cold food in your mouth while the baby's crying or you're holding them or any of all those other things. So it's not that you can't do it. And we actually did have a few postpartum moms in the group. I think their babies were like 4 months, 5 months old when they started the group. And they did have amazing success. But it takes a special level of dedication to do 80 Day Obsession. So I would hate for you to set yourself up for failure by starting it right after the baby's born and then feeling tired, exhausted, sore, and then you've got all the hormones that go with just having had a baby, and then you're going to feel like you're failing at the program, and really that's not it at all. It's just not the right program at the right time. So maybe wait until the baby's closer to 4 or 5 months, sleeping through the night, and you've established a little bit of a routine before you take on 80 Day Obsession. Let's see. Hold on, I just saw a bunch of questions come up, so okay. Is the launch of A Little Obsessed going to be the same as the sneak peek workout-wise? Yes, it is. What the sneak peek was us filming A Little Obsessed. So those are the workouts, and those will be what are coming out. Let's see. Okay. Yes, there was like 4 or 5 breastfeeding moms in the test group. And like I said, they did great, but their babies were closer to 4 or 5 months when they started the test group. So again, I say no just because I want you to set yourself up for success. And it's a hard program even when you are sleeping and have time for yourself. Okay. Yes, we don't count rest days. We only count the workout days. So it is a full 13 weeks. What do you suggest for morning exercisers? I have friends who work out as soon as they wake up at 4:30. Do they need to eat at 3:30 or switch time? So Meredith, that is a great question. She's asking about people who work out super early in the morning. And we definitely address this in the guidebook for 80 Day Obsession. Okay. So let me give you the super specific, and then I'll give you the real life answer. The super specific is that I really do want you guys fueling your body before these workouts, okay? These workouts are no joke. They're intense. And so if you eat dinner at 7 o'clock at night and then go to bed at 10 o'clock and then sleep for 8 hours, and then get up, that's like 11 hours that you've already gone without putting fuel into your system. And then you're going to go into a really hard workout, which is already a little bit of a shock to your system because you just woke up. It's not like you woke up and spent an hour making breakfast and getting dressed and everything. It's like you roll out of bed and you like just hit your body with like smack in the face with a hard workout. That's a lot. That's a lot for your body. And I would prefer that you would fuel your body before the workout for the best possible results so that your blood sugar is where it needs to be. You have the energy that you need to both get through the workout, but also build the lean muscle that you're looking to build in this program and that sort of thing. That being said, I understand that there are people that get up and work out at 4:30 in the morning. God bless you guys, because I couldn't do it. So if you're not going to eat before the workout, then you need to just start eating right after and then follow the timed nutrition accordingly after that. But you also have the option. We have what is basically your pre-workout meal listed in your workout block. But we also have what we call meal one as an option to replace the typical meal. It's smaller. And you could basically have your Shakeology there if you wanted to, which would make it a little bit easier to digest. You could sort of drink the Shakeology and hopefully go right to the workout. So the real life answer is you do the absolute best that you can do and follow it as best as you can follow it. But yeah, for somebody who works out at 4:30 in the morning, it will be a little bit harder to get up and eat at that time. Okay, let's see.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Is there a specific time of day you recommend for working out with this program? No, you got Kelly, honestly, whatever works for you. It's different for everybody. And you'll see in the guidebook, we give sample days for a morning person, an afternoon person, and an evening person. We'll be like, if you work out in the morning, here's what a sample day of eating looks like. If you work out in the afternoon, here's what it looks like. If you work out at night, here's what it looks like. We know that obviously everybody's different and it can switch even from day to day. Like maybe one day you have a really early morning meeting and you can't work out until later in the afternoon or at night. And then the next day you're back to a normal schedule where you do work out early in the morning. So you work out at whatever time fits into your schedule, but I do suggest doing your best to try to pick a time and make that the time that you're going to work out for this program. I've seen a lot of coaches doing Zoom calls now. That sort of started with our test group where they would get on a Zoom call while we did our live workout so that they had buddies to work out with, and it was very motivating and that sort of thing. So by picking a time and really scheduling it, you're just ensuring that you're going to get your workout in. And I think that that's really important. That you're not jumping all over the place with it, that you're just like, oh, okay, I work out at 6 a.m. Unless something crazy comes up, 6 a.m. is when I'm working out, and maybe you pick a couple other people so you hold each other accountable and that sort of thing. Okay, let's see. What meal plan do you recommend following with the mash up from now until the 20th? I would just do 21-day fix. Like that's the best. Get used to the containers and start getting people ready for meal prepping. It's going to be really important. But while we're on the mashup program, it's like 21-day fix, fix extreme, and chisel. So it's a big chunk of fix type workouts. So I would stick with 21-day fix nutrition. Okay. Let's see. Is there going to be any kind of modifier, or should we be really not jump in if we're not ready for the intensity? There is a modifier, you guys. There is a modifier in 80-day obsession. But the intensity is the intensity. When we're doing push-ups, she does push-ups on her knees. When we're doing certain balancing stuff, she'll sort of rest her hand on a chair. When we're doing cardio, if there's really intense jumping, she sort of takes the jumping part out. But it's still a very intense program. So make sure you're ready for it. Like, if you're preparing right now, you should be ready. And here's the thing. I don't want to scare anybody away from it because you can be at any different fitness level. We had people in the group whenever we create a fitness program, we have to put a sort of bracket around who is this for? Okay. So like when we were creating 21 Day Fix and the question of who is this being created for, it was like 21 Day Fix originally was created for the very sedentary person, the person who wasn't exercising, who wasn't eating right, who was 50 to 100 plus pounds overweight. Like that was who we had in mind when creating the program. That doesn't mean it's limited to that person, but it's sort of the bracket that we put around it. When we created 80 Day Obsession, the bracket put around it was people who are super serious about their fitness, maybe have 30 pounds or less to lose, already have a pretty strong background in fitness, but are looking to take it to the next level. Okay, that was the bracket put around it. Then the test group came up. And they said, Autumn, give us a list if there's any coaches you want in there. So I started going through like my news feeds and, people who I thought would do really well in there. And I sent them a list of about 30, 35 coaches. And then they sent me a list of 85 more. And I was like going through it, and they sent photos with it and background on the people and everything. And they were totally honest, because when we run test groups to prove that a program works. So we have to be very diligent about who we pick. Usually breastfeeding moms are out because there's too many hormone things going on that could determine whether or not they lose weight. So it's like, well, the program works, but the breastfeeding, they may or may not lose weight. Normally, we don't put breastfeeding moms in the program. Normally, if anybody has any kind of hormonal issue, a thyroid issue, or is on any kind of medication, they're normally not in the test group. Again, it's not to discriminate. It's because we're trying to prove that the program works. And when you have extenuating circumstances, it makes it harder to prove. There was no holds bar on this one. They let everybody in, okay? Which was fine. It ended up being great. One of the people that was in the test group, Tulin, if you guys know Coach Tulin. Coach Tulin is 270 pounds. She was 274 when we started 80 Day Obsession. She lost about 4 pounds during the program. If you look at her, she looks like she lost about 35 pounds. She lost 20-something inches. Okay, the program 80 Day Obsession was not designed necessarily for somebody like Tulin that has that excessive amount of weight to lose. And I say that for a reason. Again, it's not a discrimination thing. It's because holding herself up in plank was next to impossible. Tulin got very creative, and her and I talked a lot like throughout the program. I was like, look, you're going to have to be creative, because even the modifier isn't going to modify down to where you need her to be. And she did. Tulin was just like, you know what? When we do planks, I put my hands on the coffee table. I can't go down on the floor yet because my stomach's in the way and I can't do that move. So she was very creative about how she modified stuff for herself, and she crushed that program. So there is no like super big limitation on who the program is right for, as long as they have the right mindset. And that is also your job as a coach, is to make sure you don't put a challenger on a program that they're not ready for just because it's the hot new thing. Because not everybody will be able to take it on. And again, if they don't succeed, chances are they're not going to stick with us. Chances are they're not going to trust you. They're going to be like, see, it was just another program, but I suck, I failed, I can't do it. So you got to make sure that you know where they are both physically and mentally, because there is a lot of mental strength needed for this. And even if you can't do what the modifier is doing, you can still do the program and modify it even more. But you have to be the person who has that motivation and that drive to do that. So that's just really important to keep in mind when you're deciding if you're at the right fitness level to take on 80 Day Obsession. All right, I can probably take like 2 or 3 more questions. Is there going to be, okay, wait, I already did that one. Let's see. Will there be a modifier? We already did that. Okay. If you have the performance line, can you take those before, during, and after? Yes. The performance line is built into the nutrition program. You don't have to use it, but it is built into the time nutrition program so that if you do want to use it, absolutely you know exactly when, where, and how to use it. Okay. yes, I absolutely recommend the performance line to be used with 80-Day Obsession. Myself and the cast all used it throughout the whole program, so definitely recommend using it. Let's see. If I'm on 21-day fix for the second time, will it be too tough for me? Should I try extreme before moving into that? Courtney, I would say you have time, finish up 21-day fix and try 21-day fix extreme before moving into it, or finish up 21-day fix and move on to a little obsessed before taking on 80-day obsession. And then everything that I just said goes. Is keep in mind that it is intermediate to an advanced, but that there's a pause button for a reason, and you just do the best of your ability. You don't have to be perfect. That's not the point. The point isn't that you were perfect. You might go slower than us. You might need to hit the pause button. You might not get through every rep at the beginning. That's okay, as long as you keep working towards progress. If you're going to take it on, then just know that you're working towards progress and not perfection. Yes, the equipment is workable on carpeting. With the slides, just take the felt off so that the plastic is exposed. That's how you'll slide on carpet. Can you use the resistance bands instead of, Deborah, are you asking, can you use like the big resistance bands that have the handles instead of resistance loops? It would make it a lot harder. There would be certain exercises that you could, but there's a lot that you wouldn't really be able to. So you really do need the resistance loops. You need a light, a medium, and heavy resistance loops for it. And Beachbody will start selling those on December 14th, in case you guys are wondering. And you can also get them on Amazon, pack of 3 for like $12. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any other questions. If anybody has any other questions, hit me with them now. Yes, no, maybe? Julie, anything? Closing words? Oh, you're muted.
You pretty much covered everything.
Okay, good. Well, you guys, it's coming. Like I said, get your challengers excited about it now. Talk to them about the fact that, the holidays is when everybody gains weight. The holidays is when everybody gets off track. Average person gains between 7 to 10 pounds from Halloween through New Year's Day. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to go into the new year feeling like that. So now's the perfect time to get them doing something, even if they just maintain where they're at right now, even if they don't lose, at least they maintain. At least they don't go into the new year feeling like, oh my God, I spent all spring and summer getting in great shape, and then I let it all go in 6 weeks, because we all know how easy it is to gain and how hard it is to lose. So stay on top of them. I know we all want to enjoy the holidays and rest a little bit, but there's lots of work to do and lots of people to help. So let's stay on top of it and end the year strong, and then start the new year off obsessed, and hopefully it'll be really awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on our call tonight, and have a great
night.
My
pleasure. Thank you guys. Have a great night. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.